Hello everyone, I'm about to talk to Telltale Gamer, bringing us everything Telltale Games, Transformers, and more. So, yesterday we got really big news Transformers Rise. Yesterday, Hasbro announced our first story details of the next Transformers cartoon that is coming after Robots in the Skies, what ends later this year, called Transformers Cyberverse. Now, this cartoon was announced about a couple months ago, I think at the New York Toy Fair back in like the midsummer or so. Like, it was right after Last Night came out. And so, we didn't know much at the time. All we had was a logo, and the fact that they said that it will be very, what do you call it? Story, like, lore and character focused. And so, I thought, to me, based on the design, it looks like, a lot of people were rumoring that it was going to be sort of a G1, like a redo of G1. And, now we finally have our first look at the story details for as well as the designs for Bumblebee, Windblade, and Optimus, how they're going to appear in the show. And as we can see, the designs are very reminiscent of G1, but they do have, like, some aspects of, animated, some other color things, such as animated, Transformers Prime, Robots in the Skies, etc. So, anyway, so first off, I'm gonna go ahead and look over the, we're gonna head and go over the, story details for Transformers Cyberverse so far. So, apparently the whole story of Transformers Cyberverse will revolve around Bumblebee being the main character once again, just like in Robots in the Skies. Apparently, Bumblebee and Windblade, who is stated to be Bumblebee's best friend, are on Earth doing some mission, and Bumblebee can't quite read, like, he has amnesia, and he forgets who he is. So apparently, at least the first season of Cyberverse will be about Bumblebee and Windblade trying to get all of Bumblebee's memories back. I actually have the official synopsis of Transformer Cyberverse, so I'm going to go ahead and read that right now. Bumblebee is on a critical mission where lives are at stake, only he can't remember what it is. It's a good thing his best friend Windblade is found to help him repair his damaged memory chips. With each recovered memory, Bumblebee rediscovers his past adventures on Cybertron before coming to Earth. He relives fun moments when he played Cybertronian sports with his friends, and even tragic ones that would change his life. His past will shape him to becoming the hero we know today. As each memory is repaired, another clue comes to light that will lead them both to complete their shared mission to save their friends and Earth. However, the Decepticons are hot on their heels and time is running out. Now, if I want to, like, put my own, like, give my own, like, opinion on the story, to me, and based off the looks for Optimus, Windblade, and Bumblebee, I feel like the plot of the show will be very, it won't be like Transformers Prime levels of dark or like animated, but I feel that like it will most likely be around like the same amount of darkness as Robots in the Skies. Where Robots in the Skies so far, I mean, the show's not over yet. We've only seen, like, it's only gotten dark really a couple of times. Like, I mean, the last couple episodes of Robots in the Skies have been quite dark, yes, but, like, we haven't had, like, any major character deaths. This isn't in Transformers Prime where we have, like, about two or three characters dying per season. I don't think any of that is going to happen. It's definitely not going to be, all cutesy like, Rescue Bots was either. I still think that, Cyberverse is going to have some dark moments, but overall, I think it's going to have the same tone as Robots in the Skies in terms of maturity and such. So now that's over. Let's go ahead and look at the character designs for each of the characters. As you can see here, let's start off with Bumblebee, since he's the one that most prominently featured. Now, I really a lot of people are like complaining about how like childish they look, but I really do like Bumblebee's design in Cyberverse. It seems to be like a good mix of his G1 and Robots in the Skies designs. Especially you can see his head. His head is very similar to that of Robots in the Skies, even though he's got his G1 horns on him. His whole body as well is also very similar to G1. It looks like he'll be turned into like a more Camaro type vehicle like he did in Prime and Robots in the Skies, as compared to a Volkswagen vehicle like he did in G1. We can see his shoulders make up the hood of the car, which looks very similar to his Robots in the Skies alt mode. His wrist blades are the driver's and passenger side car windows. His chest plate is the hood and windshield of the car of his alt mode. I'm really digging the design. Also, we also see that their eyes, their optics are full, like, solid. We don't have like pupils or anything like we did in animated and Prime. Another thing that is unique to Cyberverse is for the first time in nearly 10 years of Transformers cartoons, we finally get noses back on our Transformers. I mean, this has been a thing constantly in G1 and the movies, but in animated, Prime, and Robots in the Skies, none of the Transformers had noses on them. And I gotta say, like, I have been reading the Mortal Meets the Eye comics and all that, it is weird seeing like noses on Cybertronians again in the cartoons. But overall, I do like Bumblebee's design. It's a nice blend of his G1 and Robots in Disguise appearances, and overall, well done. Now, onto Windblade's design. Windblade's design looks very similar to that of her appearance in the IDW comics, as opposed to the more the darker version of her in Robots in Disguise. In Robots in Disguise, she seemed to have more black than red, with like barely any blue. This in Cyberverse, we see Windblade has a lot more red to her. Her wings are fully red as opposed to in Robots in Disguise, but they're kind of black with red highlights. Her eyes are fully, and she still has her red lipstick and eye makeup that she had in Robots in Disguise. And then finally, we get even a little look at what Optimus is going to look like in Cyberverse. We see for the most noticeable part of fact is that Optimus doesn't have his battle mask on, which confirms that we won't be seeing like the whole Optimus wear his mask all the time like in G1, which I am really a fan of. Like, a lot of people are complaining that, oh, it's weird that Optimus has a face, but to me, I like the fact that they said Optimus a face, and just like weird having like him talk with a mask over his face mouth the entire time. So that's nice. The question is, though, seems as though Cyberverse is billing Bumblebee and Windblade as the main characters of Cyberverse. So I'm wondering, like, how much Optimus will be put into the story. Like, will he appear only in these flashbacks when Bumblebee, like, slowly gets his memories back? Or will it focus more on, like, maybe we'll see... I assume we'll probably see more Autobots and Decepticons in the present-day storyline. But, I think for now it's going to focus mostly on Bumblebee and Windblade. So now another thing I want to know is, like, I'm just trying to think about, like, how they're going to do the, because as of right now, we have no idea, like, what the voice cast for Cyberverse is. They could be all new people, they could bring back some people from Robots in Disguise. Like, we don't know, whether or not Will Friedle is going to return to voice Bumblebee as he did in Prime and Robots in Disguise. We don't know if, Erica Whitlenbeck, who is now the new voice of Windblade as of Robots in Disguise Season 3, she's going to come back to voice Windblade, or maybe Kristen Wu, who voiced her in Seasons 1 and 2, if she'll be coming back to voice, like, maybe whoever, voices her in the Combiner Wars and Titans Return machinimas will be voicing her. Also, we still don't know if, Peter Cullen is going to be voicing Optimus, though, based on how he's been voicing him in all the movies, and in every episode of Prime and Robots in Disguise. I do think it's highly likely that we'll be seeing Peter Cullen at least return as Optimus. Another thing I just noticed about Optimus is that I feel like the way Optimus portrayed, especially with his smile, is that we're looking at a more optimistic Optimus. Now, we've gone through like many Optimus over the years. Like in G1, we had cool Space Dad Optimus. In Transformers Prime Robots Disguise, he's kind of like this wise, like mentor, like character. And then finally in Animated, he was kind of like just like a nerdy little, like, basically like Bumblebee in Robots in Disguise. So I'm wondering how they'll do him this show. And so that's going to be my analysis so far and everything we know so far about Transformers Cyberverse. The show is set to premiere sometime early next year on Cartoon Network. Are you guys excited for the next Transformers cartoon? If you are, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.